Okay. I hope it's on video. Alright, let's get started. Hi guys, my name is Kaylin, and today I'm gonna do a story time, I guess from the title. I'm pregnant and how I hid it from my grandmother for weeks. So let's jump into the story. Okay, so starting back, I guess some background, me and my boyfriend, I met him in high school, but we've been together for 3 years, and we took a break for a year, but altogether they're 3 years. So we lived together and everything. So it all started, we went on a trip. We went on a cruise, my boyfriend and my sisters, we all went on a cruise together, and my period wasn't due until we got back from the cruise. Don't mind my lipstick, I know it's kind of crusty or whatever, but back to the story. So we went on a cruise and my period wasn't due until I came back, so I had no worries on the cruise. Y'all know I can get in the water, bathing suit, but I think the day we got back to Chicago home, my period was due. But on the cruise, I felt a little funny, but I didn't think nothing of it. I did not think I was pregnant at all. I did make a joke to my boyfriend on the cruise, like I just looked at my belly and I'm like, it looks like I'm pregnant, because I was so bloated. But again, I was joking. But on the cruise, like, I didn't have no appetite. I was very picky with food and I was extremely tired. Like, I didn't want to stay to do no activities. I just wanted to go home and go to bed. So again, I didn't think nothing of it. So when we got back home, I think it was the next day. So my period did not come on the day it was, and my periods are very regular. They come on time. So I didn't think nothing of it. I'm just like, I'm stressed out. So I'm laying in the bed, sleep. I was so tired, and my boyfriend come in the room and he was like, I think you should take a test. Like, you just been acting really, really funny. And I'm like, nigga, oh, I don't think I could say that, but I'm like, boy, bye. Like, I'm not pregnant, because I have took pregnancy tests before and they're all been negative. Everyone's been negative, so I'm just like, it's gonna be negative. Like, stop playing, I'm good. Leave me alone, I'm Gucci. So he was like, no, you just been acting really different. I think you should take one. So I'm still like, I'm not pregnant. Like, y'all, there's no possible way I'm not pregnant. And it's funny because it wasn't planned, but we wasn't doing everything in our power to prevent it. So I still, in my head, being naive, I was like, there's no possible way I could be pregnant. So I wake up after sleeping for like 12 hours. I wake up and I go into my bathroom and I go pee. And it was the last minute. I had a little bit more pee left. I was like, F it, let me take it. So I took the pregnancy test out, and I took it, and I'm so used to seeing the little, I had the pregnancy test where either a plus sign was positive and a minus sign was negative. So I'm so used to seeing that negative come up, I don't really pay attention. So I peed on it, and literally so quickly, like not even a minute later, I see a plus sign. My heart stopped. I jumped up off the toilet, and TMI, y'all, I did not wipe myself. Yeah, I jumped up off the toilet with the test, and I ran into our other bathroom because my boyfriend was in there, and he was taking a number 2, which was, I don't even know how I went in there and didn't die, but maybe the shock of me being pregnant, I didn't smell it. But I bust open the door, and y'all should have saw him. He was so scared, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. I said it like that, and he took the test and he looked at it, and his slow self was like, no, you're not. And I'm just like, Richard, that's a plus sign. That means positive. So he was just like, let me finish. So I slammed the door, and I went back, and I, finished cleaning up myself. Then I went and sat on the bed. And gee, I felt like an elephant was on my chest. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I just sat there, and I was just like, started to cry. And all these thoughts came in my mind, but I was trying to remain calm. So my boyfriend came out and I told him, you need to go get another test because this one may be wrong. You know, naive. I'm like, this one probably wrong. Go get another one. So he went and got the ones that said pregnant or not pregnant. So he came back and it definitely said pregnant. So we both sat, well, he went in the living room to sit and I just stayed in the bedroom sitting on the bed and I just started to cry. And every emotion, thoughts came to my head, and I was the type of person, like, I don't judge anybody, you know, their decision if you want to abort, you know, abortion or adoption. I don't judge anybody, but I always said, for me, you know, my decision, I would never abort my child. I'm just gonna have my baby. But I can tell you guys, when you're in that moment, I'm gonna be honest, every option came to my mind. Like, well, not everyone, well, abortion came to my mind. I'm just like, I can't keep it. Like, maybe the baby's not that old. Like, I was just thinking of so much stuff. I wasn't thinking of adoption because I felt like if I was gonna carry the baby full term, I'm probably gonna end up keeping it. But abortion was going through my head so much. And I just couldn't believe it because growing up, I was always like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, not my choice. But when I was in that situation, that option did come to my mind. So my boyfriend always was supportive and he was just like, no, we're going to keep it. We're going to be okay. We're going to be fine. But in my head, I was just like, no, we're not. Like, this is just the wrong timing. Our relationship was kind of rocky. I was just like, it's just the wrong timing. So I didn't tell anybody. Now, you guys, I have 3 sisters and I am the youngest. Oh, y'all probably like, how old are you? I'm 24 years old. I just turned 24. So I'm the youngest and I have 3 sisters and 1 brother, and none of them have kids. So none of my siblings has kids. So yes, I'm the youngest and I'm the first one, I guess, to have a baby. So I didn't tell my sisters. I think it was the next day. I went to work. I was like going through it. I really couldn't focus on work because I was just focusing on the baby. So the next day I ended up and I was like, I'm gonna tell one of my sisters. So like I said, I have 3 and one of them doesn't live in Chicago. She lives in Texas. And I was thinking of like, who could be a person I just want to listen. I know if I would have told my oldest sister first, she would have been more on that. If I told her like I didn't know what I was gonna do, I don't know if I want to keep it or not, I know my sister would have gave me this lecture and been like, you don't do that, that's not what we do. And at this time, I just needed somebody to listen to me. I just needed somebody to listen and, you know, talk to me. And I knew I didn't want her bossiness, so I didn't call her. So I ended up calling my sister in Texas. And I told her, and she didn't, like, first she thought I was lying because I did a prank on her before that I was. So I'm like, no, I'm actually serious. And I was telling her everything. I didn't know my decision, and she was very supportive. She said, you know, that is your choice, but you're gonna end up keeping this baby. I already know, blah blah blah. I'm like, boom. So a couple of days go by, and then I talked to my sister again, and she was like, you want me to tell another one of my sisters, who, not the oldest one, not the bossy one, the one that's next to me. She is 26 years old. So she's like, you want me to tell her? And at the point, I couldn't tell her. I was so emotional, and I just couldn't tell the one that's my sister that's really close to me. She's actually not 26, she's 25. We're very close, so in age. So I just didn't want to tell her because I didn't want her to be like, I don't know, I didn't want her to be disappointed or anything in me or feel some type of way. So I asked my other sister to tell her. So she told her, and she knew. So now 2 of my sisters know. So the next one on the list is my oldest sister, but I did not want to tell my oldest sister. I just did not want to hear her mouth, so I didn't want to tell her. But I ended up going to my grandmother's house when my older sister was there, and we both left together. So on our way home, I called her, and I'm like, let me just tell her. So I told her, and she kind of was like, okay. And she was just like, I don't see what the issue is. Like, you're going to have the baby and keep it. So then I was telling her, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do at this point. I don't know. And she was just like, I don't think you should do that. Blah, blah, blah. Everything that I knew she was going to say, she said. So she's that in my ear and I'm crying on the phone. So we end that conversation. So I think I call and make a doctor's appointment, but at this point only three of my sisters know, and my boyfriend. Nobody else knows. So all my sisters know, and they're like, when you gonna tell our grandmother? When you gonna tell our grandmother? And I did not, I'm telling y'all, I did not want to tell my grandmother at all. I was scared. It's probably like, I don't know, I felt like I was a teenage girl pregnant. I just want to tell my grandmother. A lot of you guys probably don't know, but my mother died when I was 16. So, my grandmother has been there. So I just was really scared because my grandmother is not strict, but she always talked to us. And I just know what my grandmother was going to say. I know the lecture she was going to give me. And deep down inside, I wanted to keep my baby. But I was just saying, like, thinking of, like, I know if I would have told my grandmother, she would have told me to abort it. And I'm being 100% honest with you guys. I know if I would have told my grandmother, she told me to get rid of it. So I just didn't want to hear that, even though I was thinking that. But deep down, I knew the decision I was going to make. But I was just so scared to tell her. So I did not tell my grandmother for a while. So I go to the doctor. And my sister goes with me, the one that's close to me. And you guys, at the doctor's, let me make sure this is still recording. Oh, it is. Okay. So when I went to the doctor, I was so emotionless. Like, when big moments happen, like, I have no emotions. Like, I'm just in shock. So when I went to the doctor, they confirmed that I was pregnant, and they came in all excited, like the doctor and the nurse, like, congratulations. And you guys, I had this blank stare on my face, and I was just like looking at them like, y'all so happy for what? And this is me, I'm telling you guys honestly my feelings now. Of course, they've changed. I'm super excited. Love my child already, but I'm telling you guys, at this moment when they came in, they were like, just congratulations. And I remember I looked at my sister like, who is they talking to? Because I'm not excited. So I was just really just kind of calm at the appointment, and then my sister was asking a lot of questions. I was 5.5 weeks when they confirmed it. And, my sister was asking like questions like, does it have a heartbeat? How big is it? Because she knew what I was thinking. But you guys, after I walked out of that doctor's office, abortion went out the window. I was keeping my baby. I couldn't do it. I went straight to Target to get some prenatals. Like, I just couldn't do it. And I was probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made. Like, it just snapped to me once I left. Once I walked out of that doctor's office, I had to keep my baby. So everything, they checked me, everything was good. So I come back in 4 weeks to have my first ultrasound. So I told my boyfriend, keep it in. Everyone was excited and everything. My sisters, of course, are super excited because this is their first niece or nephew. Oh, it's a bug. Y'all know I don't do bugs. But this is the first baby in our family. So I know they were super excited. If this bug don't move. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I know they were super excited. So next on the list was telling my brother and my dad. A little bit of background. My brother doesn't live here either. He lives in Louisiana. And my dad, I don't know, my dad, we're not that close. Like, I know who my dad is. Like, my mom and dad were married. They got a divorce, and we're just not close. We don't have the typical father-daughter relationship at all. We're not close. We don't hug. We don't say I love you. So it's just not really close. And he hasn't really been in my life, really. So his opinion really didn't matter. I don't know if that sounds harsh or mean, but I'm still under my dad's insurance. So I just knew he was going to find out anyway. So I was just calling him for like questions on insurance and, stuff like that. I need some of his information. but his opinion really didn't matter to me because he hasn't really been a parent to me. So don't try to be a parent now when I'm 24 years old. Like, I can make my own decisions, because when I needed you to be a parent to me, you didn't step up. Because, you know, when my mom died, I was 16, and that was the time for my dad to step in. Like, hey, I'm gonna raise this girl and I'm gonna help financially, and step in. We didn't have no place to stay. It was just like he didn't do anything. My grandmother stepped in and took care of everything. My grandmothers and my sisters really took care of me. And even though I was 16, you know, I was still in school and getting back and forth, and prom and graduation. My sisters and my grandmother paid and did everything. So he didn't step up at all. So his opinion really didn't matter. But I told him first before my brother, and of course he tried to play the parent role, and he was disappointed in me, and because I'm not married and all of that. He gave me a little lecture, but his opinion didn't really matter to me. I didn't feel any type of way. Now, my grandma's opinion matters, but his, I was just like, okay. And I got the information that I needed, and that's it. So next was my brother, and again, my brother, we're close, but we're not that close. And I already know my brother was gonna lecture me, and I'm not trying to sound mean, but my brother's opinion kind of doesn't matter because we're not that close. He doesn't check up on me, he doesn't call me, we don't really communicate. But I just thought, you know, he's my brother, I should tell him before like it gets around and it comes to him. But I don't know if I should have did that, but I told him, and he was very mean. He had a lot of negative to say, a lot of negative, and I'm just like, I know I'm the baby, but I'm 24 years old. He was acting like I was 16 and pregnant, and basically telling me my life was ruined and stuff like that. So got them out the way. So 4 weeks go past. Grandmother doesn't know. Didn't tell my grandmother. I'm about 8 weeks at this time, and my sisters are all like, you need to tell her. You need to tell her. Like, I don't know why you're scared. You need to tell her. And I'm like, I'm not telling her. Like, I was just really scared of telling her. So we went to our 8-week appointment. We had our first ultrasound, and we got to see the baby, and it was so tiny. And we actually got a really good picture that first time we went, because the last time I went, I don't know what they took a picture of. Not trying to be mean, but I didn't know what picture she took. But the first picture they got from the ultrasound was really, really cute. And my boyfriend went, and we got to hear the heartbeat and everything. So that was nice. So now I'm 8 weeks, I think, in like 4 days. So I took the ultrasound picture, and all of my sisters was at my grandmother's house. So they was like, this is the perfect time to tell her. And I'm just like, I didn't want to tell her. And they was like, just show her the picture. So my grandmother was in the kitchen, and isn't this ironic? She was in there talking about young girls having babies. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I can't tell her. She was talking about, I'm sick of all these young girls having babies or having baby showers and blah, blah, blah. I mean, at certain ages, you should have the stuff you need for your baby. And she was just going on and on. Remember, grandma's very old school. She was going on and stuff. And I looked at my sister, and my sister started laughing. And I'm like, I'm not telling her. She over here talking about, because I just didn't want you to be different. Okay, my camera had died, so back into the story. So after my sister laughed, after my grandmother was in there talking about, you know, young girls having babies, my sister was like, you should just go ahead and tell her. So she was like, told my grandmother, come sit down at the table, and if my nose was running, y'all, I just ate some hot chips. But she sat down, and I was kind of like, I got something to tell you. And I think my grandmother knew, because then she was like, you having a baby? And I was like, yes. And I handed the ultrasound picture over to her, and she looked at it, and then she kind of was just like very calm and emotionless, and was like, well, I mean, you're grown. And then I told her, like, I didn't want to tell you because, you know, I didn't want you to be disappointed in me. And she was like, well, I'm not going to be disappointed in you. You're grown, but, you know, I just wish you would make better decisions. And stuff like that. So she kind of wasn't mean to me that day, but I ended up getting a lecture. I think it was like a couple of days later. She asked me to come over and she sat and talked with me, and that's when she gave me her honest opinion. And like I knew, my grandmother's 100% honest, and I'm not that sensitive. I just kind of block out what she had to say. But she basically told me like, you know, if you're not ready to have it, you don't have to have it. You know, there's nothing wrong with having an abortion and stuff like that. And I just really just listened, but I was having my baby. So my grandmother knew, and it's crazy because I could have told her a long time ago, but I was just so nervous. I was just so nervous, but now everybody knows. So yeah, so right now I am 12 weeks pregnant, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the pregnancy. Have a gender reveal and everything, but I need you guys to subscribe, guys. I really want to get to 20K, and I know I can. I'm gonna have a lot of videos coming for you guys. I have a whole bunch of story time videos. Comment below which one you want me to do next. I can do how I was homeschooled all the way to high school. So high school was my first time ever going into a public school. I can do a story time on how I went out the country with no identification, and I came back and I made it back. So I had no birth certificate, no ID, no identification at all. So I can give you a story time how that happened. I can give you a story time on how my mother died, and I could do a sister tag or something with my sisters. I'm gonna be having vlogs, but I need you guys to I can't even talk. I need y'all to subscribe, y'all. Get me to 20K, like, comment, share, all of it, everything. So comment down below which story time you want me to do next. And thank you guys for watching. See you.